Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. We're taking a quick look here at Matic, seeing what's going on. We're going to jump into some backend data here and just quickly understand best practice, big picture. Quick congrats to our community members for some nice, sweet profits here from Filecoin, 38% in 4 days. Matic, 22% in 2 days, and then 4 days here for Solana, 42%. So again, common trend to get 20, 30, 40% every couple of days here for those swing trades. It's been pretty consistent and looking good. So we're considering taking a trade here with Matic. Not quite sure just yet. We'll double check a few things, but it has all the right stuff. I had this potential play out here on the charts while it went up instead of down initially. It's since came back down to bounce off this range of about $1.02. So it's a good sign. We're definitely looking positive in that sense. We take a quick look here at the overall 7-day time frame. We can see a lot of liquidation occur between 101 and 102 and 103. We talked about that yesterday, of course, being a very present thing. Got some late shorts there at about the 110 to 108 mark. And if we take a look at the smaller time frames, we could probably see a very similar circumstance here where there's a lot more liquidation above than below the price action. That does imply the price might continue to go up just to sweep that upper level liquidity and to destroy more accounts, which is basically the goal of all trading whales. So let's take a quick look here at Matic and double check the time frame here for the daily and work our way down and just kind of see where we're at. So generally speaking, on the daily time frame, we can see that there is some pretty good consideration for well, first of all, there's a doji candle here, which does imply potential reversal. I'm not trying to read into that at all. We got 5 hours left in the candle, but generally speaking, we could be reaching a potential high point where the price may pull back to retrace and pivot. It's likely already done that, though. That's the thing. We don't need to worry too much about this. Don't read into doji candles until they're fully formed. And more importantly, in situations like these, I think it's take it with a grain of salt, really. Moving averages were be above 3 out of 4. The important one is the 20, just kind of letting us know the overall trend is up, and we're not quite there yet, but we are testing 50 on the RSI. The Cardano chart looks exactly the same as this here, which is nice because it's looking pretty solid for potential continuation. And what I'm getting at here is this money flow index being low. That's unusual, actually, less common for coins like this. It's more likely for the price to recover it and to bounce from there because of that. Mainly, I say that just because the simple fact that the money flow index being fairly low implies that there's been a lot of money coming out of this coin for the last week or two. And in that time frame, you can only sell so much without the price going further. So we've hit our tentative bottom with that range that we talked about yesterday, and I'll highlight that here in a minute, but getting over 50 on the RSI today would be extremely beneficial. I think there's strong probability of that happening just based on the way things are happening right now with Bitcoin holding that 70,000 level like a champ. We can see stochastic swinging up and MACD trying to converge here right on the horizon there. So good stuff is forming here. Is it truly bullish? Not quite, but looking pretty decent. These last 2 doji candles are pretty nice here, or more so just you can have some positivity there with the knowing that the price action pulled this far down and has since recovered. Those are generally good bullish signs here for doji type candles that are forming. Once again, don't worry about that until it happens, but for the moment, we can see here RSIs are all kind of pulling back and retracing, for lack of better terms, or just contracting down. It's very normal for the indicators to do this. Try not to read into that. That doesn't mean the sky is falling. It just implies that this natural correction that we're seeing is resetting the indicators, giving us more potential for further upside. Really, it's more of a bullish sign than a bearish sign. We can also see here as well that the MACD is trying to diverge, but hasn't fully diverged yet. So it's important to recognize that we're still in good shape here, being above the 20-day SMA and the 50. Keep in mind the 20-day SMA runs very concurrent a lot of times with ascending trends. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mark this on the chart here as an important indicator. And I did talk to my community members about using orange as a good indication of a key level type of trend line. So we're going to pay attention to this guy and just make sure we stay above that. Again, being above the 20-day SMA on the 4-hour time frame is extremely important for this bullish continuation to continue. Right? Again, it's not like the sky is going to fall if we lose that level. It just implies we got to pay closer attention. I love the 20-day SMA for that reason. It really gives us a good indication of the trend that we're in. And if the trend is your friend, you may as well consider trading with it instead of against it. So right now, we are ascending positively. So anyways, the 4-hour time frame isn't like super bullish, by the way. It's just not super bearish either. Okay? It's kind of in that fair to midland state where, depending on how Bitcoin behaves, Matic should do fairly well, should recover here. But once more, it all depends on how that happens, right? If we take a quick look at the Ichimoku cloud on the hourly, a lot of coins are looking like this, where the lag has been intersected with the price action, kind of confirming if you had a position open already, it would have been worthwhile to consider taking some profit. Okay? Same thing with the conversion line and the baseline that just dropped below, so let's slightly bearish, but again, we're still ascending with this trend, and the cloud itself is above the trend line. So again, we stay above the trend line, we're probably going to be in pretty good shape here, and that's just a solid representation of the fact that we're still tentatively bullish on the short-term timeframes. And the macro is also looking moderately bullish too. It's just that 4-hour reset that we're getting right now with this most recent 2 or 3 4-hour candles. Last 12 hours have been moderately bearish for most coins, as Bitcoin pulled back to that 69.5 range. Okay. So having said all that, what's Matic look like right now? Well, it looks pretty strong, looks pretty good. I wouldn't say this is like perfect conditions for long, but it's mostly positive contributing factors. And until we drop below this trend line here, I think we have no reason to concern ourselves with the fact that the price action should continue further up. Okay, so again, just some friendly advice here. Low leverage, low position size I'd recommend in situations like these. Don't get super crazy with your position size or your leverage amount, just because the market's in a weird transition right now. We need Bitcoin to close 70,000 or higher this week to have a good consideration for further upside. Inverse as well, of course, we close below that. We could see the CME gap at 64 to 66,000 filled from Bitcoin too. That would make sense leading into the Bitcoin halving. So it's really hard to say specifically what's going to happen. But right now, though, majority of altcoins are in decent shape based on Bitcoin kind of recovering back up over 70,000 and so far holding that level. I think those are important things. So just pay attention to that. If you're going to stay abreast on anything, I'd watch my Bitcoin videos just so you can get a general consensus on where the market's heading. And at this point here, again, we're above this most recent trend line. And of course, this was the range bound activity that we experienced. And it is going to be the new low. So the likelihood of the price bouncing off 102, 103 like it has already, possibly even again, is fairly high. Okay, so again, Matic's looking pretty strong, folks. Once more, just be careful in how you take your trades. Try not to get too crazy, because this is not like a super strong situation. It's just mostly beneficial. All right, thanks again for watching. I hope you learned something today. If you do, comment below, let me know. Like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't already. Make sure you reference Bitunix. Link down below for some awesome rewards if you use my link to register. No KYC or VPN, that's the main reason why we use them. Awesome exchange. Thank you so much, Bitunix, and thank you too for being a great part of my life. I do look forward to working with y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.